When you let other people's fear police your authenticity and your aura, the consequences are simple. You disappear in rooms you were meant to command. But fear and faith ask you to believe in something you can't see. You choose. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Elevate with Mama Kesh, a space where style, story and soul come together to help you elevate into the confident person you are becoming in your personal style. I am Mama Kesh, your host, and in today's episode, we will be talking about the real cost of not believing in yourself, especially when it comes to your confidence, aura, and your self-expression. Did you know that studies in style psychology actually show that people will make judgmental opinions about you in under 7 seconds of looking at you without you even opening your mouth? Yeah. And in that time, that would determine how much they choose to either trust you, listen to you, even respect you. And that's the power of quiet self-assurance. And the easiest way to build such assurance is through your style and your clothes. So why wouldn't you use that to your own advantage? Self-assurance or self-confidence is really not about being the loudest in the room. It's about just you showing up and being grounded in who you are, in your aura, in your personality, and in your authentic self. And if you make the mistake of allowing other people's interpretation about you choosing to show or bask in your aura, being more about intimidation and not about your self-confidence, then you would have given them your own power. Because you see the problem? People nowadays would choose to reflect their own insecurities on you. And if you actually make the mistake of allowing their own vision being reflected on your own personality, it will water down the way you show up for yourself. You would start questioning yourself. Am I doing too much? Maybe I should tone this down. Maybe I should tone that down. For who actually? Who are you doing that for? Because you see the thing, once you enter spaces fully clothed with your aura, everyone around you notices. Rooms actually shift. People actually start making opinions about you. On one hand, you're going to have people who look at it as intimidation. And on another hand, you can actually inspire people. And again, like I said, the easiest way to do this is through your clothes. And that's why all through this podcast, we will be talking about the most important way or the easiest way of mirroring your personality with your style so that you can show up in the most confident self that you should be. Imagine someone who's always in the business of doubting their own self or their own aura. They might turn down a promotion, not start a business idea they've had for years, not start the family they've wanted because they don't think they're good enough for that person, lose opportunities just because they always choose to stay behind the scenes and dim their own selves. Those are the mistakes that we really make when we choose not to own our own aura and our personalities. But you see the thing, if you bask in your own aura and choose to enter rooms full of your aura, it's always going to come off as intimidation to others. And that's fine. Because when they do that, they will try to actually humble you. They will try to make you feel small. Throw slangs like, oh, she's too much. We can't relate. Who does she think she is? And that's fine because they're just on their own journey of identifying who they are. So do not disservice yourself and revert to meet them in their own boat when you've already made that journey and come this far. Allow yourself to bask in your own aura. And unfortunately for we women, we feel like we need the permission to actually show up in our aura. And that's really what prevents us from reaching our full capacities. Because to be honest, society is conditioned that way, right? Society has always been conditioned to make women feel like they're the second best of everything. We have to take permission to show up for our own minds, for our own bodies, for the way we dress, the way we look. Now I'm going to tell you guys my own story with self-confidence. So a couple of years ago, when I made my first debut into corporate America, the very first interview I had within my career path, I landed the job. Not necessarily because I was so knowledgeable, but because I chose to be very confident in myself that day. It was an on-site interview. I went into a panel with almost, I think, 5 people sitting in a room. I was quite knowledgeable. I'd studied around exactly what the job description was, what they were hiring for, and I kind of had some background in it, but I had really never practiced it in real life, right? What you learn and what you practice is really 2 different things. But I chose to show up. First of all, I was greatly dressed from head to toe, made sure I was sharp, looking sharp. But what really landed me the job that day, in all honesty, was my confidence. It was really the confidence I had in myself. I was not the most knowledgeable person in the room, but I chose to allow my confidence speak for itself and allowed my aura to enter the room. And in all honesty, I was hired the same day. As soon as the interview was done, I had the director tell me, "Can you start tomorrow?" And again, it wasn't really that I was the most knowledgeable person. And in all honesty, I took almost 6 months to actually start learning the things on the job. But the truth is, what really got me that job was the fact that I chose to believe in myself. And this is what is preventing so many of us women from achieving our greatest potentials, because we don't let our actual aura fill up rooms. We try to stuff it in bags and prevent it from actually showing up for us. And that's our biggest mistake. So now I'm going to give you guys a simple list of things that you can do weekly to help you build your confidence. The first, I'm going to say, style yourself on purpose weekly. So it might be anything. Pick one activity a week and style yourself for that activity on purpose. It might be you running errands. It might be even you going to the gym. It might be just you working at home. But style yourself intentionally for that activity once a week. Once you do that, you're going to build confidence in those looks and confidence in yourself. And it's going to build some kind of muscle memory, because you would have had a dose of confidence every week that tells yourself, or tells your brain, "Oh, I feel confident in what I'm wearing." So take out the time to style yourself on purpose at least once every week. The second thing I would say is pick an activity which you can do slowly in a very confident way at your own pace. What this might actually look like might be you doing something that you know you're very good at and then doing it very confidently. Or rather, you can also pick something that you might not be very good at and try to do it, but at your own pace, so that you build confidence in that thing. So it might be you walking into a room. It might be you even talking into a camera if you're a content creator, or if you want to start creating content. Or it might be you preparing for interviews. You might actually want to start taking your interviews and record yourself, because that way is going to allow you to see yourself or see what the others see on the other side and help correct yourself. So yeah, if you're preparing for an interview, for example, I would say take out the time, record yourself, and just see what it looks like. See what it looks like once you're talking to yourself into the mirror. That way is going to help you build that confidence. The third thing I'm going to say is curate a powerful look. Get a look, and for some of us, we might already have that in our closets, but if you don't, create a powerful to-go look, a look that you know you look confident in. And for days where you want to feel very confident in yourself, you can just pick that look out and head out the door. What that would do is that it would allow you to feel confident, especially if you're still curating your style and you're not very sure about where your style really sits. You want to ensure that you've already identified what your power looks are, and you have at least a set of power looks in your closet, so that when you want to feel confident walking out the door, you can just easily pick that and walk out the door without necessarily doubting yourself. The last thing I'm going to say you should do is speak kindly to yourself. And if we fail to wear our confidence, what would happen is we would allow other people's projections of who they think we are rub off on us, really. And what that might look like is you might start feeling bad about what people think about you. So let's say you walk into a room full of your confidence or full of your aura, and someone gives you that stare of who does she think she is. You must start asking yourself, oh my God, did I do too much? Am I doing too much? Or did I offend them? Or maybe I shouldn't have shown up this way. And it just starts playing with your mind. And the more you do that, you're going to rob yourself of your power. You're going to start diluting your own aura. So rather own it, right? Own it. And with time, everyone around you is going to adjust, really. Because the truth is, when your aura is built in your authenticity, the rest of things really just sorts themselves out. People would always feel the way they want to feel. They would always judge you based on what they think their impression about you is. And that's fine. But what you should not do is regress from all the progress you have made to bring yourself this far. This far where you have created that confidence for yourself, you've built a great aura for yourself, you maybe now understand what your style looks like, you're basking in it, and then you're going to revert that just to make everyone else feel comfortable. Nah, that's not really what we should be doing. Self-confidence and self-assurance and basking in your own aura is very important, because it would dictate a couple of things in your life. It would dictate how people treat you at work, how your partner chooses to show up for you, how your friends choose to choose to respect your time. It would actually also determine how people choose to pay you, believe it or not. So it is very important that we decide to show up for ourselves in our full confidence and in our full aura. So the true cost of not believing in your own self is softened presence, a muted aura, and a personal style that never gets the opportunity to bask in its own glory. So give your self-confidence a chance. Thank you all for tuning in today's episode. If today actually struck a nerve, please go ahead and share with family and friends. And if you are interested in identifying stylish ways which you can adopt to help you build your confidence and bask in your aura, drop a comment and we can go on a one-on-one session where we try to identify what really works for you. On that note,